Molly Rice, welcome back
Thank you.
to Berg Vivant.
So psyched to be here
This
again.
is great because I think in 4 years you are one of our first repeat guests.
Oh, really?
We've gotten to that point, so congratulations.
That's pretty special.
Things have changed since you were last on.
This
right?
is so swanky. I
It
mean,
is,
a whole new class of gin, I will say.
I know we did
Yeah.
get our gin budget. You know,
Yeah,
just we knew you
much
were coming.
better,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed. So cheers to you.
Thank you. You too.
And to Real-Time Intervention's upcoming project, which I have a lot of questions about. It's titled Angelmakers. And now here's the second half of the title, which I'm very curious about. Songs for Female Serial Killers.
Indeed.
Let's discuss. What is this and what can we expect?
Well, okay, so it started with a book that I was reading about female serial killers and how they're different from male serial killers. Just a fascination, as many of us have.
What did you find to
there.
be one of the main differences?
One of them is that they use different methods. They do a lot of poisoning.
Oh.
They use sort of domestic methods to kill, and often it's interesting. And often their reasons are a little bit different. They have to do with maybe a need that they have for financial gain, or even social iniquity leads to females killing for the first time, but then they discover that they like it. So it's a little bit different than men. Got really interested in this book, and it was in chapter form. So each serial killer had her own chapter, and that started to feel like, oh, this could be sort of a musical project with one song for each woman. And we were really interested in how far can you go with human empathy? Like, can we ask an audience to open their idea of what humanity is to include even the people that do the worst things? And somehow music helps with that.
Well, Assassins got away with
Exactly.
it. That
It's
musical.
very.
So
That's
there's
a
a little
great,
bit of a
yes.
predecessor there.
That's right.
So
No,
you
I'm
could
no
say, well,
Sondheim
they did
here.
it, and people
That's
went to
right.
see that.
That's right, and it's a great touchstone for us. I mean, it's so similar structure. It's just songs. So when you come, you'll see basically a concert. So you'll see one song after the next with some interstitials and some characters and that sort of thing. But our hope is that each song will build on the next in a sort of aggregate way, to create an experience.
Was this intentionally framed around Halloween?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did do that. We thought this would be the right time of year. But I think serial killers are fascinating all the time. I mean, there is so much out there about serial killers. We were just watching Mindhunter last night, and which of course was filmed here, and it's eternally interesting. Not only the differences that killers have, but also their similarities to us.
And this is specifically serial killers, which
Yes.
means they have killed repeatedly. Wait, did 2 kills equal serial? It has to be 3.
I learned
now,
that.
see, I didn't
yeah.
know that.
I know, me neither. We do have one that is sort of an outlier to that, and her name is Mary Bell. She was 11 years old when she killed 2 two-year-old boys. She came from a terrible, terrible background, but she doesn't really count as a serial killer per se, except that if they hadn't caught her, I suspect she would continue.
Oh.
So she's a rough one.
Is she in your show?
She sure is,
What's
yeah.
the title of her song?
Her song is called Teeth. She's wondering.
We could just leave it at that.
Let's just leave it at that.
And let that
And you guys just imagine, yes.
be a teaser
great. That's
for what's
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah.
So now, is this a show for the whole family, or
No.
would you recommend
No.
adults only?
Yeah, I would say even 12 and up. It is not sensationalistic. It's not to make fun of or mock these women.
important.
It is. It's not gruesome or lurid. We don't talk about the gory details. It's really about them as people and what might have led to.
Could we say an artistic examination?
Exactly.
Of the
I like
subject
it.
material?
I like it very much.
So no shock value, but something that'll probably make you think
I think so.
about the minds
Yeah.
of these individuals. So how was it for you writing for them, reading about them, writing for them, and then having to step
Right.
out? Are you still sane and with us?
Well, someone else would have to answer that question, I suppose. But I actually found myself having a lot more empathy than I thought. It's been an interesting process because there's been moments of real sadness for these women, moments of absolute dissociation, like they're very different, and just the whole range. you know.
Yeah.
So it's I hope to bring that to the audience,
Yeah.
a sense, each song to offer a sense of something different.
Well, what led you to the material in the first place, to want to start reading about these ladies and investigating them?
Well, our co-artistic director, Rusty Thielen, was doing a couple of projects on serial killers, a whole other story, and he actually did get freaked out. He was like, okay, no more, no
Too
more.
far down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
so he kind of handed me the book. He's like, here, honey.
Oh, so there was an apprentice.
Yeah.
You were an apprentice. before.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know, once you start reading about women, it's a whole different story. It's women who had families that were too big to feed. And what do I do? Or women who had abusive husbands, or you know, there's all kinds. I'm not at all condoning their behavior.
Oh, right. We should maybe
Make
have
it
led
very
with
clear.
that.
Yeah, I know, right.
But, we got it in there. Okay.
Right,
good.
right. But there's definitely and then there are others, you know, who clearly just had a hunger that most of us don't contend with. You know, like Dexter or someone like that who just had something different going on, you know, biologically that the rest of us don't deal with. So.
And is it sort of like do these songs take place in sort of a cabaret, or is it
Yeah,
more of
good
like a
question.
concert,
Yeah.
song after song?
It's like a concert, you know. It's the conceit of the show is sort of that these three women who are performers. Actually, I'll talk about them a little bit. We have Melia Ayash, who's Lebanese. We brought her over. We've worked with her before. She's this incredible international performer. She plays 4 or 5 instruments. She speaks 4 or 5 languages. She's just a really special performer. So she's sort of our lead performer. And then we found these 2 wonderful local musicians who come from the punk rock scene. And one is the drummer for Murder for Girls. I mean, I couldn't get any better than that.
Coincidence?
I know, right? And then the other one is this this guitarist bassist who's just, her name's Zorana, and she's just a force of nature. So so those are the 3, and we sort of have been making a band with these women. And the conceit is that they're sort of channeling each serial killer. And what would that person, what would that woman say if she had one last chance to say something to an audience? So that's kind of what we're working with. But
And is it all a rock genre, or is it?
no, it's all over the place.
Okay,
I mean,
interesting.
this is my first electro pop. Like, I actually wrote an electro pop, like, you know, 80s dance club like song, and then we've got country, we've got post punk, we've got from one end to the other of the spectrum. So
A very interesting way to tell a very interesting story, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can see it October 25th through November 4th. It would be a cool
November
Halloween-y.
11th.
Oh, November 11th.
Sorry
You
about
know
that.
what? There was a fly on my paper. No, October 25th through November 11th. That's actually my bad handwriting, is what it is.
It's the gym.
So great, sort of Halloween-ish date night.
I think so.
Or even, you know, early fall thing, catch up on it the first week in November there, Tuesday through Saturday, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And this is in Lawrenceville at a new performance space, right?
This place is going to be so cool, Brian. It's going to be a while before it's fully finished, but they're going to have a full proscenium upstairs, old Slavic dance hall. They're going to have a cabaret middle floor, and then a black box downstairs. So that's one of the real.
And it's called Aftershock Theater. And you'll be one of the first performances in that new space.
Yeah.
So see it now.
Yeah. It'll be dusty and crumbling, but right for
Perfect.
yeah, exactly.
And do you know how much you'd have to pay a scenic designer to
That's
do
what
that
I
for
said.
you?
That's
This
what I
is
said.
perfect. Site specific. You
Right.
know, it's very exciting. So again, Angelmakers, songs for female serial killers by Real Time Interventions. Opening October 25th and running through November 11th. Molly, we will see you there.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
yeah.
me.
Welcome back.
Thank you.